Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've seen any of my videos, you already know what I'm about. If you're new to it, then just welcome. And in short, I started to make YouTube videos 2 years ago, right after my divorce, because I wanted to document it for myself and my friends, my closest friends, how I was reinventing myself and my whole life. And I think I also found it very therapeutic, and it helped me to focus on something else other than just my grieving and my pain and all that. And in this video, I thought to talk about how I spent a weekend with my ex-husband and his new girlfriend. I know that in my last video I promised to make videos a bit more frequently again, but let me tell you something, if you have kids, you probably know this, that if you don't hear from them, not like tiny kids, but kids who have already, who are already grown and kind of flew out, that if you don't hear from them for a long time, it probably means that they are doing well, right? So the same thing applies to me. When you don't hear from me, or when I'm not uploading a new video every week, it just means that life is happening. I'm busy with a lot of stuff. I just don't happen to find the time to make videos. Even now, I really don't have the time, and I'm sorry, I couldn't really prepare for this. I didn't write the script, I didn't even put a makeup on, just, my shea butter, and then off you go. So, because I just want to be like very transparent and honest, and so I don't think I need all that facade and all the, giant preparation to talk about what's happening. And then if it resonates with you, then I'm already good, right? Because I know that some of you are going through some very similar processes, as in divorcing or getting separated from someone, and you may want to listen to someone who can give you hope from the other side, who's maybe like 2 steps ahead of you. So this is what I'm trying to do here. If you're new to my channel, or if you just don't really know much about me, let me tell you that I divorced I believe my soulmate 2 years ago. Obviously you would ask, okay, why, if he was your soulmate, then why did you divorce? Because of whatever reason. But I don't believe that every soulmate has to be your husband or wife, right? I believe that a soulmate can be a very good friend, a brother or a sister, or just anyone in your life that you feel that very special connection with, right? And sometimes, I think not sometimes, probably most of the time, we actually make the mistake that if we find that connection in the opposite sex, we already think that, oh, okay, so it has to become a relationship, or it has to, it has to be a romantic connection. And that's not always the case. I think we obviously, we felt that strong pull and that connection, and we had to come together, and we had to go through a journey together, and it was beautiful and healing, and I would do it again. And we both needed that particular relationship at that time of our lives, because we were coming from very similar childhood traumas and shitty relationships and stuff, and I believe that we gave each other a lot of things that we couldn't get before, and we helped each other to heal in so many ways. And I think that's what a true soulmate connection is about. It doesn't always mean that you have to stay together, or you are romantically or sexually attracted to the other person, but it's just whatever. Okay, so let's not talk about that part right now, but let me just share it with you, that a little background story. Okay, so before I moved here to Sweden to live with him and live in Sweden, he was already living here for 7 or 8 years. We are both from the same country, Hungary, and then we spent 7 years together, and then we got divorced, and about 2 years ago, and about 6 months ago, he moved back to Hungary. And that really broke me, because I felt like that was another separation. That was like the physical separation, because even though we got divorced, we still, we spoke every day. We spent the weekends together, like we were hanging out like best friends, and, we took care of each other. We lived like 10 minutes walk from each other as well, so we kept that very special bond, that best friend part of the relationship. And when he moved back home, he found a new girl, and then they moved together, and I'll be honest with you, it didn't break me. It made me happy, because I truly feel that, when he's happy, I am happy. I remember there were times when I was preparing him for dates. This was like, I think we were still living together. We already agreed that we are separating, and I think we probably already got the papers that we are divorced. But it was a process for me to find a place. I wanted to move out, obviously ASAP, but it was difficult. And so while I was still there, I remember he went on his first date. When he first told me, it kind of broke me, but then I was like, you know what? I mean, I've been doing the same, and I want him to be happy, and obviously I want the best for him, and that's one of the reasons why we are separating, because I want him to find that woman who is perfect for him. So I remember I cut his hair. I made sure that he looked nice, he smelled nice, his hair was nice. His clothes, I helped him to match, and then I even cleaned his shoes. That's love. That's real love right there. So I prepared and I sent him off. And then he came back home about half an hour later because the girl didn't show up. And it kind of broke him, and it really broke my heart to see him. So I always knew that whenever he found happiness romantically, I would be happy for him. And so he did find love. And then a couple of months ago, they came back to, just to sort out some whatever stuff that he needed to sort out, some paperwork. So they came back to visit Stockholm, and obviously we were supposed to meet. But you know what? I know him, and I knew that if we were gonna meet, because I was ready to meet them, right? And I really wanted to meet him. I missed him. I wanted to hug him. But I knew, my flat is falling apart, but I knew that if I was standing there, I would really want to give him a hug. The kind of hug that I would give him normally, like my best friend kind of hug. But I knew that he would feel awkward in that situation with the new girlfriend being present. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm like hugging him with love and he's standing there like, I don't know what to do, or, and then it just creates an awkward situation and it makes me feel bad in front of, it's just, I was like, oh, I'm not ready. So I think I came up with some stupid excuse why I couldn't make it. But I cared about them. So I remember I left them some, because at that time I was selling some vegan cheese, and I put some vegan cheese aside for them, and I left it at their place so, they would be able to taste it. And also at the same time, we had conversations many times when I was put on loudspeaker while I was talking to him, and then she was there. So it was like the three of us, ended up chatting, and there was a nice dynamic between the three of us. And also I never questioned if she was a nice person or not, because I know him, right? And I know, and I trust him that whoever he chooses to be with is going to be a nice person. He's not going to date an asshole. He's not going to date a bad woman, or like, someone with questionable values or personality. So I had confidence in that. And then a couple of months later, which was a couple of weeks ago, they came back again for another visit. And I was like, you know what, this time I really want to meet him, or them, but like especially him. I missed him. And so we met up. And I was thinking like, how should I do this? Because I don't want to create the awkward situation, but I want to hug him. So my tactic was, I hugged her first, like, because we already had a connection, right? We were already talking, we already knew some stuff about each other. So when I met them, I straight up went and I gave her a big hug. And then I felt like I gave myself the permission to hug him. So I did hug him. And then we went out. We went to this Indian restaurant close by. And it was so interesting to talk, because it felt like, I think this girl and we could be really good friends, if they lived close by. Because it feels like we like the same stuff, we are interested in the same stuff, we do a lot of similar stuff, we even had the same food, It's like there were a lot of similarities between us. On the outside, we look very different. But the mentality, the interest, the energy, I think is very, very similar. So it was very interesting to see that. And I had fun with them. And prior to the meeting, I was already thinking I hope they're not going to be making out in front of me, because I just find it rude, especially in this situation, when there's the ex-wife, and I think it's just unnecessary, right? You can keep that part for when you are home and then do all that at home. And I think he would have been like that, but for some reason, I remember, she grabbed his hand, and we were walking, I was walking in front of them, and then they were holding hand. And I didn't feel awkward about it. I mean, obviously it's normal, but then in the restaurant, there was a lot of kissing and touching, and I felt that was totally unnecessary, but I'm like, whatever. But it actually, what I found interesting is, normally I find it cringeworthy, with everyone. It doesn't have to be my ex, just I don't like to watch that in public. But I liked the fact that it didn't make me feel uncomfortable. I felt it was unnecessary, but it didn't make me personally, as the ex-wife, feel uncomfortable. And that was a relief. And then I went over to their place, my ex's place, where I also used to live. And then I spent a couple of hours there. We were talking, chatting. It was fun. And then later on in the evening, was it? I think, when they came over to my place because they needed to pick up something. And then, I don't know if it was the same evening or the next day, but anyway, they came back. Probably the next day. They came back, they brought something back, and then it was a final goodbye time together. And we had a lovely chat. It was lovely to see them. We had a lovely discussion, and it was just generally nice, and I was so happy to see him. I thought that it would be more awkward, prior to the meeting, but luckily it went really well. And right after that, she and we added each other on Facebook. We are Facebook friends now. We sometimes send each other's photos, messages, whatever. It went really well, and I'm happy. So, is there a conclusion? Is there a good piece of advice that I can give you if you are facing a similar situation? I would say that if you, for whatever reason, you have to meet your ex and a new girlfriend or boyfriend, right? Do it once you feel comfortable, once you think you feel comfortable with the idea. Don't do it if you don't, because then it's just gonna mess you up. Make sure that prior to the meeting you are completely calm and you have accepted the situation, which is you and him or her are not together anymore. And you have to find peace, and you have to find that self-confidence in you. And I used to think that, okay, while I'm single, I'm not ready to do this, but because it's just going to be awkward to be the three of us. But I'm yeah, maybe once I have a boyfriend, then the four of us can meet, and I wouldn't feel that awkward. But you know what? I don't think you should, or anyone should, wait for that moment. I think you should find that peace, that comfort, that self-confidence, that whatever in you, without having to drag along a fourth person. I think you're able to do it, but you are the one who knows when you are able to do that. So wait for that moment. And if you feel that you are not there yet, but for whatever reason you just have to meet for whatever, or you accidentally bump into them, right? The most important is just do not react. Do not react out of your whatever emotions that you're going through. And that's always the most important, is obviously not to react. And I think that's one of the biggest wisdom that I'm working hard on learning, and trying to practice. I think that's one of the most difficult one in my life, particularly. Not to be reactive, if I have a very strong emotion, just trying to breathe and analyze and understand what I'm going through. But don't react. Just stop and breathe and observe it. And I think that's what I would tell myself. or if you feel that the emotions are so overwhelming, just get the fuck out of there. Just leave, just don't get involved in a conversation if you already feel this tension or anxiety or anger or pain or fear or whatever inside. Just get the fuck out of there. Don't deal with it. If you're not ready, don't deal with it, because you may end up acting stupid, which you're going to regret. And just don't put yourself in that situation. If you're really able to get to the stage where you feel love towards your ex, then you will be able to feel love when you see him or her happy with a new person. And I think that's just such an ideal state, when you can be truly happy for someone, when you're not acting out of fear, pain, anger, revenge, whatever. And you know what actually helped me a lot? Obviously time helped me, right? But I'm not trying to promote myself here, although maybe I should. But what really helped me was, oops, sorry, I think I just kicked the table, and then the whole iPhone's been moving. So what really helped me was meditation. And it's actually a meditation that I created long ago, a couple of months or maybe over a year ago. It was my self-love meditation. I knew I needed it myself, so I made one, and I made that version publicly available. So I published it on my YouTube channel. I'm going to link it in the description below. And I remember I've been doing that I was doing that like every day for, I don't know, 1 week at least. And it really, I don't know, it just put me in a better place emotionally, mentally. And it's funny how that self-love generating meditation didn't just help me reach or gain more love for myself, but how it also helped me change a lot of things in my environment. A lot of good things happened after that. And I do believe that whatever is inside, it's going to be reflected on the outside. And actually Dr. Dispenza says this, is beautiful. He says that your personality creates your personal reality. Your personality, like how, okay, what makes your personality? Your personality is created by you feeling a certain feeling and emotions, right? Like all the time. So for example, okay, let me go back 2 steps back. So first of all, it starts with your thoughts, like how you think, whatever thoughts you put out there. And then those will generate certain emotions in you. And then if you have those same emotions all the time, that, for example, I'm always angry, that will become me. It will become my personality. I will become an angry person. Or if I'm happy, I will be a happy person, right? It will completely shape me. And then if you let that personality define your everyday, and obviously, and it will, because once it's your personality, it does define your everyday and your interactions and your decisions and a lot of the things. It will contribute to what reality you're going to create or attract or manifest around you. So your personality creates your personal reality. So what is inside, it's also outside. And also you can observe whatever you have around you comes from whatever you have inside. So it's always a good feedback. So what I was gonna say is meditation has this power, and then when you meditate towards finding this inner love and peace and harmony and all that, trust me that a lot of the things happening around you and whatever you're going to be attracting to you will be matching that vibration. And that's been happening to me. So that meditation honestly helped me so much. So again, I have linked it in the description below. Give it a try. It doesn't cost you anything. It's like 15 minutes. And I honestly recommend that you do that meditation or any other meditation, whatever. But, if you're already on my channel, maybe you might as well do mine. So you just listen to it once a day, every morning. But if you really want to do it hardcore and you want amazing results, you do it twice a day. So when you wake up in the morning and then before you go to sleep, you know what, just give it a week. Just do it for 1 week. Trust me, you will see some incredible results around you, how it affects your connection to other people, and even just the events that's going to happen to you, they just, I don't know, it's just, you're just going to feel so much more love and peace around you, and in whatever you're attracted to your life. So give it a try. Thank you for listening. I would appreciate if you like this video. Share it, maybe don't share it, I don't know. I'm just, I'm not there yet. I don't have that confidence about my videos yet. Keep it quiet. No, but feel free to like it, comment. I love your comments. I love your beautiful, positive, encouraging feedbacks. And subscribe. Do that. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love that. It's a nice feedback.